name is SARTHAK and we are group number 26. The topic we've chosen for our project is a phone book application which goes by the name INFINITI CALLER. Phone book or telephone directories have had a great impact in the past, first one dating back to 1878. There used to be these bulky books with hundreds of pages which were termed as waste as soon as people got the efficient technology which stores contacts and searches them on some clicks known as the mobile phone. So the idea behind our project INFINITI CALLER was to create a program which can carry out operations such as adding contact details and including the name, phone number, gender and the mail address. The added contacts can be deleted and contacts can also be modified in any field such as gender, name or phone number. The main objective of creating the project is to implement a basic phone book application in more than an efficient manner. Its main aim is to carry out operations such as displaying or adding contacts in a user-friendly manner. Also, it saves data and allocates the least memory. The main aim is displaying and adding contacts in much user-friendly way along with adding multiple contacts such as various amount of details such as gender, mail ID, hence giving security assurance as well as search operations. Amongst the busy life, people have trouble remembering the 6-digit OTP, let alone the name by which they save the contacts. Data efficiency and data management are the two principal objectives. So the applicability is to facilitate modification and memory efficiency. It is also very user friendly and very easy to implement. So for the introduction and further ado, I'd like Wadhwa to continue.
Thank you, Sarthak. Moving on to the introduction of the project. So basically, in today's world where most of us are connected to one another through social media and phone numbers, one does not have the time to memorize all contacts. Hence, our project INFINITI CALLER seeks to provide an efficient app where one can store, manage and delete contacts much more efficiently. Moving on to the alternate methods. INFINITI CALLER can carry out operations such as addition, deletion and modification of contacts. There can be various data structures to implement the same, such as stacks and queues, but they have some drawbacks. So basically, stacks are a data structure where you can push elements on the top and pop elements from the top. Basically, you have no access to the elements underneath, just the top element. If one was, say, throwing commands on a stack, then the most recent command gets answered over a command that has been waiting a while. Therefore, stacks are not a good data structure for processing commands. Moving on to queue, the queue is not really readily searchable. One has to start from the end and might have to maintain another queue. Adding and deletion of elements from the middle of the queue is complex as well. Moving on to the proposed method. Since both linear data structures, stacks and queues are not feasible for this problem, we shall use singly linked list to implement this problem. We have also used file handling to store inputs by the user in a file. The advantages of singly linked list. Linked list is also a linear data structure, and unlike arrays, linked list elements are not stored at contiguous locations. The elements are linked using pointers. The size of the linked list is not fixed. It basically uses two pointers, one to store the value of the variable and the other to store the address of the next node. As the next linked list address is stored in the second node, there is no restriction in adding a new linked list member in between. Linked lists also provide very fast insertion or deletion of a list member, as each linked list contains a pointer to the next member in the list, which is really important in implementing INFINITI CALLER. Moving on to the advantages of file handling. File handling helps in preserving the data or information generated after running the program. Using files, one does not need to worry about the problem of storing data in bulk. File handling saves a lot of time, and at the same time, one can easily transfer the contents of a file from one computer system to another. Proposed system architecture. In INFINITI CALLER, the client is the user itself, because the user will perform the functions of adding, deleting, and displaying a contact. There is no need for an admin as the information stored is sensitive and private. Conclusion and future enhancement. In conclusion, this is the basic plan of the INFINITI CALLER app, while in future we'd like to link Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat handles to our application so that it makes it easier for the user to form a community and communicate with people from all different contacts. We'd also like to implement a security feature wherein a person could press the power button thrice and the local authorities will be alerted in case there is a mishappening. As the world advances in technology, there are some privacy concerns that are raised. To help with the privacy of a user, we like to implement a QR code system so that people can talk to each other without sharing their phone numbers. Sharing one's phone number leads to spam messages and scammers all around the world. So this will prevent contact tracing. I've used Photoshop to show how our app would look like in the future. So basically on the right side, each and every person will have a particular QR code which can be scanned for two people to communicate with each other. On the left side of the screen, there's a camera option wherein a person could scan the QR code of another person and thus they can communicate with each other freely.
So this is the C++ code, and here we've created some libraries, then we've created some classes, then we have voids, and then we've created some functions, and then we've used switch case to operate between the infinity caller functions. So I'll just execute the program. So this program has two types of logins. First is the existing user login, and second is the new user login. So I'll be using the new user login first. So I'll enter my username, then I'll enter some password which I mean, and then I'll log in. So successfully logged in, loading your dashboard, password saved in a password file. So now I'll create my profile, which is the first thing you do when you enter our application. So I'll enter my number and the age and blood group, and so it is personalized. Hello Mr. Sarthak, what would you like to do? So now I'd like to show you how the existing user login works. So for the existing user login, we've added passwords for the three admins, which is the project creators as well as our faculty, SIR KAUSER AHMED. So I'll enter my username Sarthak, and my phone number is my password. So welcome Sarthak, thank you for logging in. So I'll be creating my profile here as well. So my contact number I'll add, age, and then my blood group. So now I'd like to add some contacts. So I go to switch case number 2, then I add my colleague Wadhwa's contact. So now I'll add another contact, AYUSH WUNNAVA. So now I've added two contacts. So now I'd like to perform some operations on the code. So first I'll ask it to show my profile. So here's my profile name Sarthak, age, contact number, and then my blood group. Then I'll ask it to show all contacts. So these are all the contacts I've saved. As you can see that I have by mistakenly entered the first name of my colleague AYUSH wrong. So now I'd like to go to update contacts and update his first name. So number 1 will be updating the first name. So I'll enter the wrong name first, and then I'll enter the new name, which is AYUSH. So now contact found, first name of the contact updated. Now if I'd like to update something else, for example the gender of AYUSH WUNNAVA, so the name will be AYUSH and the new gender will be male. So contact found, gender of the contact updated. So now if I'd like to show the total number of contacts and then see how many total contacts I have in, so total number of contacts are 3. So now I'd like to see all contacts with the updated information. So now the name's changed, the gender's changed, and here is the total. There are 3 contacts I've added. First is Dev, second is AYUSH, and third is mine. So now I'd like to add another contact if I want to. So adding the contact will be, name will be, let's say Raj Keshav, and I'll add some random phone number for him, and then he'll be a male, and his mail ID will be raj@gmail.com. So and now I'd like to remove his contact. I like to delete his contact. So I'll say Raj, the contact from as you can see, we have added some file handling as well as to the program, so that we can save the contact information entered by user so that he can use it later. So the files are mycontact.txt, myprofile.txt, and password.txt. Password.txt is a file in which you can save your new user password. When you log in for the first time, your password gets saved. So here it is. So password gets saved here. So so the password which I entered is saved here. The username was Sarthak and the password was Gulati. So the next was my profile. So to save your profile, it is in case number 0, wherein we've used file handling here. So it goes into my profile.txt and gets saved. So here's my name, my last name, my age, my phone number, and then my blood group. So the contact information which I entered is saved here. So the contact information file switch case is right here. The file handling is right here in switch case number 2. So this is the 4 contacts which we saved with the updated information. So we have also developed an app because that was the main reference of our project. The main application we wanted to do for our project was to create a user-friendly app. So our app, INFINITI Caller. So now I'd like to pass it to AYUSH WUNNAVA.
Hello, my name is AYUSH WUNNAVA, and today I will be presenting you the app our team has worked on, which is called INFINITI Caller. So before showing you how our app runs, the following app has been made on Flutter, which is an upcoming mobile development software. So this is the website of Flutter, and it is made by Google itself, and it can be used for building beautiful natively applications for mobile, web, and desktop. So Flutter holds a key role in a future marketplace for app development softwares. So let's try running our app now. I will be sharing my screen, and this is my mobile screen, and our app's name is INFINITI Caller. So let's go and run it. Okay, now as you can see, this is the primary screen of our app, which is contacts, and there's also another screen called favorites. So there are no contacts being added yet. We'll try adding it right now. So our first contact will be, I'll be adding my name, which is Ayush, last name WUNNAVA, number 70431722152. Email is just right, a@yahoo.com, and gender male. Okay, we have saved it. Let's see. So this screen is called contact summary, and as you can see, all my contact details can be viewed on the following screen. We can see cellular phone, email, and gender. Okay, let's try adding one more contact, and I'll be adding details of one of my teammates whose name is Sarthak. I'll write last name as GULATI, number 123456789. We'll try adding only 9 digits. Email s@yahoo.com, gender others. Okay, now let's try saving this, and as you can see, the following cell number should only contain 10 digits. So the app prevents from entering any kind of value which consists of less than 10 digits. So let's add 0, and now it should work. Okay, so we have added 2 contacts, and let's see Sarthak's details, and as you can see, his phone number, his email, and his gender is visible. Okay, so as mentioned before, there's also another screen for favorites. So if I press the heart icon beside my name, let's say for AYUSH WUNNAVA, then following contacts will be added in favorites screen. So my name is appearing on favorite screen. So it works. Okay, now as you can see, there's a text field and it acts as a search bar. So I will be searching the name of my teammate Sarthak, and I hope it shows, and yes, it does show up in the results. Okay, now let's go back to normal, and as mentioned before, I've added a gender of Sarthak as others. and I can update it by going to this pencil icon and pressing on it. And as you can see, the initial values you have entered will be shown up. So I'll try changing the gender to others to male. And if I press on Sarthak, and you can see the gender has been changed. So this is the primary aim of the app, which can add, update, edit, and search. There's also an option for delete. So I'll be deleting Sarthak's contact, and if I press on delete contact, and you can see only my name remains. So this was the working of our app, and I can add this in favorites too. And this was all possible with the help of Flutter. So I'll be showing you how our app works with the help of Visual Studio Code. And behind the app, there are two major files related to the working of app. And the first one is the contact.dat, as you can see in the models folder. So it basically initializes all the variables in the database, and all the values entered by the user will be saved in the following uh, variables. So as you can see, in add contact we had first name, last name, so those values will be saved in the following string, and this is how it has been implemented. And the another major part of our program is the database helper.dart. So this is basically a file of a package, and this package involves using of SQL. So as in SQL, the SQL works on the uh, functioning of a table. So this package first creates a database and a table, and as you can see, there's a function called create table, and all the variables that have been declared over here are being used in the table, and so the values entered by the user will be saved to the following variables. And the following database also contains special functions such as search contact, uh, get favorites, and add contact, edit contact, and delete contact. And there's also get total contacts in the database. So these two are the major files running behind our app, and the rest of the files are the screens. And as I had mentioned before, there were two primary screens. One was contact screen and another was favorite screen. So if you go on to the home screen.dart over here, there are two major screens. One is contact screen and another one is favorite screens. So if I show you from the app, this is the contact screen. uh, this following screen is a contact summary. This is the edit contact, and there's also a add contact screen over here. So these all use the functioning of contact.dart and the database helper.dart. So edit contact screen is made such that the interface is easy for both the user and the programmer who codes the following screen, and it makes sure that whatever the input given by the user is saved in the database and can be viewed later on. So this is the user interface used for edit contact. There are multiple columns, and in a column there's a row, and in row there are many containers, and within a container there's a text field, there's an icon, and same goes for add contact. So add contact and edit contact screen both contains the same user interface. The only difference is that the add contact values, the values that you had added for the add contact screen, will be displayed in the edit contact screen. And this is majorly because of with the help of initial value. There's a function called initial value, and as you can see, uh, it will show the specified for documentation and various purposes. So this is the major functioning of our app. It can add a contact, it can edit a contact, it can delete a contact, it can search a contact, and it can also add a respective contact to the favorite screen. This all was possible with the help of various packages which are offered in Flutter, the Flutter itself, and Visual Studio Code. So, thank you.